Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, fearless villager. Wait. Fearless villager? Is that me? Is welcome fearless villager referring to me? I'm the fearless villager? Why? I don't think it's a bad thing to call me that. I'm just wondering, like, where does... Ah... Is it the Wearmag collab? Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. I got the farm bag. I got the farm back. Yeah. Hello. Good morning, everybody. My name is Vesper Noir. I'm the resident scholar of the Adventures Guild Tempus. DM. And a member of HOLOSTARS English. And we're doing just a short... I don't know if you didn't come from Twitter, we're only doing about an hour today because I didn't finish my preparations yet. There's like a lot of reading that I need to do. Like a crazy amount. Oh. I didn't finish it all. Also, I need to make a thumbnail. Somebody asked a question like whose channel is it going to be on? It's going to be on my channel. So I need to make a thumbnail. I didn't do that. There's like a lot of stuff that I need to do. Yeah. I'm excited. No name, thank you very much for the super chat. Is this Steve Vesper Noir of Bed at Night? I didn't do it. I just had like one line that I recorded. I just recorded the one line. That's good tea. I feel like I haven't had tea in a while. It was a good line. What tea is it? I'm drinking a Gyokuro this morning. Japanese style green tea. Kafka on the shore, thank you very much for the super chat. Good morning. I'm sitting here making chainmail and having some tea. Holy crap. Congrats on the recovery of your farm. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know what it kind of reminds me of? I'm going to bring it up and people are going to be like, you should play that game. I can't. I asked for permissions for it like pre-debut, but there's like a DLC in Darkest Dungeon. There's like a farmer, right? And then his entire farm gets rotated and turns into like a crystal farm. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, the farmstead. The color of madness. It's a skill issue. Yeah. Jessica, thank you very much for the super chat. I can seldom catch your streams live because it's time zones, but I really like your Zetsudan. I can only watch the VODs. Please keep up the good work, and thank you for keeping his Vesties company. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for watching the VODs. I really appreciate it. I do think the weakness of being a Zetsudan streamer is that, like, I think the VODs are a little bit less enticing to watch live. Maybe? I actually don't know. I feel like game streams are really good, and event streams are really good to watch live. Not live, VODs of, like collabs and stuff. But I think like Zatsudans are generally a little bit like weaker for VOD content. That's good tea. This Gyokuro is like pretty good. Lexi Steinberger, thank you very much for the super chat. Young man, I'm 33. Keep calling yourself old. So help me, I'll turn this around. Yeah. I'm definitely younger than 33. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, though. Woo. Dr. Wawi, thank you very much for the super chat. Finished my first campaign. I was a goblin paladin. Oh, that's so wicked cool. What was your oath type as a goblin paladin? The final boss with the guards of the lich that we killed previously. We killed the boss from inside of it. Wild. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's a lot of super chat. Nikki GZ, thank you very much for the super chat. Good luck for the prep. Hope everyone will have fun. I hope so too. I'm focusing on the fact that like I get like super nervous if I focus on the fact that like I've never DM'd in front of other people before, just like people. Like the people that are playing. So it's like, oh, what if I'm like bad? But the thing is like I'm getting over that by like it doesn't matter if I'm bad. The only thing that matters is that the boys have fun. If the boys have fun, that's all that matters. So like that's all I need to focus on. Yeah. I just need to make sure that the boys have fun. That's it. That's all I need to think about. Doesn't matter if I'm cringe. K-Stars, thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Fujojo, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm excited to see TTRPGs in the VTuber community combined. Good luck on your first 5e session. Thank you very much. I'll do my best. I'll do my very best. I actually wanted to talk about like roughly what we have planned. Just because you know, it's the morning Zatsudan right before, because we're doing it today. For those of you that don't know, and I'm sorry I don't have a thumbnail. I don't have a waiting room set up yet. It's actually today. In like 6 hours, we'll be playing D&D. Which is why this stream is going to be a little bit shorter, because I still have a lot of prep to do. Felix Wuff, thank you very much for the super chat. It's so great on Axel's music video. I had to watch it a few times. Thank you so much. Just that one line, but I'm working on it. I think I recorded it 6 times, and I let them choose the one that was like the most suitable. It's just like one line. Doritos, thank you very much for the super chat once again. Loved your part in the cover question. Do you have a favorite mug or cup? Mine has become Mugris because I love stabbing my eyes with every sip. I do have one. Can I can talk about it. It's fine. It's a mug that I got from a gift shop inside the Grand Canyon. If you guys know what the Grand Canyon is, it's like one of the most beautiful places in the United States when I visited it from Elysium. It's a Grand Canyon mug. When it breaks, I'm going to be really sad because it's not very easy for me to get back there, right? So there's no way for me to replace it. I guess I could buy it online. Maybe they have like shipping. I don't know. It would make sense. It would make sense, I guess. But I got it like at the Grand Canyon. Michael, thank you very much for the super chat. Your line in Bad at Night might have been short, but your Japanese is pretty spicy for real, for real. Can't wait to hear more. Also looking forward to the TTRPG. Thank you very much. Thank you. Definitely, like, I've got the foreigner's accent, but, like, working hard on it. Working hard on JP. El Fenomeno channel. Thank you very much for the super chat. As someone who has DM'd in front of a lot of folks, I can tell you that you got this, bro. Thank you. Thank you so much. That actually makes me feel a little bit better. I think it'll be, like, the first 30 minutes will be, like, a little bit cringe. Because I'll be like, hello, everybody. And I'll be like that. But once we get into the game and then the boys are playing and I'm reacting to the boys, I think it'll get a lot better. GM Lemmy, thank you very much for the super chat. Hey Vesper, this week's been very busy for me, but I'm glad I could catch your Zatsu live today. I can't remember the last time I was excited for a stream as I am for D&D game. Love your work. Rock on. Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming. I was worried that like we just wouldn't be able to do it, but it's a dream come true. And not only that, okay, we're almost caught up so I can actually talk about D&D. Not like D&D as a game. D&D is like what we're going to do. You guys get like a sneak peek for like what to expect, right? JCred4, thank you very much for the super chat. Is Vesper a mug gamer? I know what mug. Wait, I'm thinking of mud. What's a mug gamer? I know what mud is, but I don't know what mug is. Thank you very much, though. QB42, thank you very much for the super chat. The factory must glow. Did you see, like, other people are playing Factorio, like, within HoloPro? You have no idea how happy that makes me. It makes me so happy that other people are playing, like, Factorio. Because I played it for the first time and it's like, oh, I love this game. And I was like, I hope other people play this game. Oh, it's so good. Also, Tenma Senpai, right? Do you guys know Kishido Tenma? Yeah. Kaila Senpai and then Tenma Senpai. Tenma's actually really good at the game. I've watched the VODs of him playing it. He's actually like really good at the game. he's better than me. Tenma is like really good at the game. Holy crap. Botan Senpai as well. Yeah. It's just like a lot of people in HoloPro are like getting into it and it's like, oh, that makes me super happy. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I was the one that put in the permissions request. And except in very special cases, permissions requests are like global across the entire company. So once one talent gets the permissions for it, like it should be, except in certain cases, it should be open to like basically everybody. Yeah. Makes me really happy. I'm hoping I want Axel to try Into the Breach. I feel like he would really like it. Right? Because it's a game about like mechs and you're like a time traveler and you need to like save the world from like aliens, but like most importantly like mechs, right? Like fighting robots. So I feel like Axel would really like it. He just went to sleep. I'm gonna spoil it for you. Like, he's just in Discord right now and he just went to sleep. He's gonna take like a cheeky like 5-hour nap and then wake up refreshed for the D&D campaign. But I was just talking to him. Does Dez have exclusive Sonic rights? I think Sonic is one of those like special ones, but I don't think it's just Dez. I think it's like it's not talent limited. I think it's like time. I probably shouldn't talk about it. Let's just move on. I don't think I should talk about like the nitty gritty, right? Because it's just like you guys don't need to hear about that. It's just yeah. It's like a special case, but it's not like talent limited. That's all you need to know. Anywho. Zibble, thank you very much for the super chat. Good morning, Vesper. Really excited to watch your D&D stream. Might have to watch the VOD though because I'm DMing too. Yo, finishing up the Lost Mines of Fendelver. Hell yeah. It was supposed to be longer, but accidentally rushed the boss. I mean, you're DMing, so it's not your fault that it got rushed. It's just that like your party members just like did it, right? It's good that you didn't railroad them, right? Because some DMs, they'll be like, oh, they're rushing towards the end. Let's go ahead and like throw some roadblocks in their way and stop them from getting there too quickly. But I think like you have to give your players like freedom. And then you have to like let them know that they have control over their actions. They have agency. And then it becomes more fun that way. Good on you for not railroading them, Zibble. You just... They decided to go that path and you just like let them, right? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about like what to expect from D&D. I finished world building. So it's a homebrew world, right? And then I was thinking this is like the pessimist in me talking, right? Just like the pessimist in me. Should I be pessimistic or should I just be like positive? It's better just to be real, I think. I think I should just be like 100% real. Yeah. I want the boys to have fun, right? But I need to be prepared. I need to be prepared for a situation where like it doesn't click with one of them, right? Maybe I'm not the style of DM that they like. Maybe they just don't like tabletop games, right? Like I need to be prepared for that situation. So I want an off-ramp where they don't have to feel bad about like bowing out. I wanted an off-ramp for the boys, right? So they are starting in like they're starting in a dungeon crawl. And because I do think that like I was able to get them to understand the idea of like exploration mode and like interacting with NPCs that are like not hostile, right? Like town stuff and like role play. But definitely the part where like pretty much all four of them are pretty inexperienced is combat. So I basically decided to throw them into a dungeon crawl and then just have like they don't need to worry about like intrigue or politics or like missing like a cue. They're just gonna Oh no, not 4. I'm the 4th one. I'm sorry. No, there's only 3 of them. There's only 3 of them. There's only 3. I'm sorry. I mistook. I just woke up. No. Don't be disappointed when it starts and there's only 3 of them. There's only 3 of them. No, Shrek is not there. We couldn't get Shrek. I apologize. We tried really hard. My manager was like working really hard, but the Shrek thing like fell through. Nothing we can do about that. No Shrek. Mobius1, thank you very much for the super chat. Vest, my players are boating down the river on a boat made of ice from shape water. Any ideas for obstacles for a skill challenge to throw in the way? This group really keeps on my toes. Okay. They're boating down the river on a boat made of ice from shape water. Okay. Unless it's just like completely not in character with the world. What if you had them cross the river and there's a sleeping turtle dragon? A sleeping turtle dragon. The dragon is not going to wake up unless they're stupid enough to wake it up, and then they'll instantly die because it's a very like difficult. But a turtle dragon like shoots steam out of its nose, right? It has like a steam breath, right? So it's like sleeping and then it's like breathing out superheated steam, and it's heating up the river where like they cross it, and it's gonna melt the boat unless they figure out a way around that. What about that? So they can super mess up. Like if they like poke the, if one of them like pulls out a bow and like shoots the turtle dragon, then they wipe. Absolutely wipe, right? But the trick isn't to like kill it. The trick is to like get past it without melting the boat. Party wipe guaranteed. Yeah. Thoughts? Thoughts? That's evil? I don't know. There's like ways around it, I think. Unhinged evilness. Are they smart? It sounds like they're a very, very intelligent group, right? This group really keeps me on my toes. And the idea of using a boat made out of ice from shape water is like kind of a banger idea. I like that. A bit too much for inexperienced players. But you could just, like, as a DM, you describe it. Like, it's giant. This is like a house-sized turtle. And there's a bunch of spikes coming out of it. And, like, it's breathing out steam, like superheated steam vapor, and the water like directly in front of its mouth is like starting to boil, and it's like, oh, we should not F around with this thing. Like there's a way to describe the monster to just like let your players know that like you should not attack this thing. Do not attack this thing. Yeah. I roll to tame. Oh my god. Taco, thank you very much for the super chat. Good morning, Noah OG. Unfortunately, I have to go to bed since I'm cosplaying at a con tomorrow, but I hope you and the Vessies have fun. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you have a good rest, and I hope you have a fun time at the con. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. Gotta stay safe. Fenrir Lives, thank you very much for the super chat. Very excited to start a low combat city builder campaign. Any exciting ideas for occupying force the players need to clear out of the old busted city first? Occupying force. Interesting. Low combat. Cult, yeah. Ratfolk, bugs, rebels. These are all good ideas. I'm always trying to think of like weird stuff though, right? Weird stuff. An unknown like alien force, right? It doesn't have to be like from outer space. It's just like not not like your like species, right? They're just like unknown, right? And you don't tell them this, right? But they actually are like essentially like archaeologists, and they're studying this city, right? So they don't want anything in the city to change. It's like an archaeological dig site to them, right? And then like anybody that tries to like mess stuff, it's like if you go into a museum and you're trying to like touch the stuff or like take the stuff, they'll like bonk you on the head and like kick you out, right? It's like that. So as soon as you try to do anything inside of this city, like they arrive and they bonk you and they try to kick you out. And it would be even funnier if they're like not trying to hurt you. They're actually like quite peaceful. It's just like, hey, get out. Like we're studying this city. Like, could you not try to steal everything that's bolted down? Could you just like leave? I think that would be funny. like the as a DM, your perspective for like the occupying force should be like the curators of a museum. And like they're not trying to hurt the people, they're just trying to kick them out, right? And they don't want them to like change anything because they're still studying it. Yeah. Anyway, you don't have to do that. It's just an idea that I had in my head. I like the idea of like knowing very, very clearly what the motives of like the NPCs are, right? Motives for me are like the key to making it like realistic. You don't have to tell your players the motives, but they have to be there in the back of your head. And then like all actions will flow much more easily. And they'll do things that the players will be like, why did they do that? And it'll be more realistic, right? As a DM, like the motives of your NPCs are like critical. Anyway, okay. So I'm dropping the 3 boys into a dungeon crawl where like they don't need to think. They just need to kill. I mean, they can do other stuff too. And they could be more like diplomatic about it and more like non-confrontational. But if they wanted to, they could just be like a bunch of bloodthirsty murder hobos and like just go through that, right? And I think that'll like, and then also it'll get them used to like their characters because they're not that used to their characters yet. We did a practice session and they understand like the basic concept of like rolling and then like turns and stuff like that, but they're definitely not like used to it yet. So they still need to get through that, right? And the final thing is which is like really, really cool. And this is why it was worth taking so long to get the permissions. Wizards of the Coast is actually super cool. Incredibly cool. They actually gave us a lot of the modules and resources, like the official stuff. Like they just gave it to us. Like have fun with it, right? They gave us permissions to actually use the modules, like on live stream, which is like a double. It could be an issue, but I hope it's not. Okay. We're actually using a module tonight. And probably for the next 3 sessions. I think you should take about like 2 to 4 sessions to clear this dungeon that they're going into, right? It's a module, which means there are definitely people that have played it. So I'm a little bit worried about spoilers, right? That's what I'm worried about. It's not Fendelver. It's not Fendelver. Don't worry about it. The entire thing is like one dungeon, which is like really cool. I read it. I've read it twice so far. It's not Strahd. It's not Strahd. No. There we go, Duncan. Duncan's got it. I'm not going to say the name out loud, but Duncan's got it right there. I want them to have like a good old-fashioned D&D dungeon crawl. Get used to their characters, have their characters level up a little bit, get a little bit attached, and then also... And there's nothing wrong with this, right? Because I do think it takes time for you to get into your character and be comfortable enough to do it. I think only Dez has like a good idea of like the lore and background of his character, which is really cool. And I want to integrate that into the world that they're going to be inside of. And Altare and Axel still are like, they have the characters made, but they don't really have the background made yet. Dez, I already have an inkling for like what I want to do with this character. As in like, I'm starting to add NPCs that are like that know his character and will interact and you know, allies, nemesis, stuff like that. Yeah. And I think the dungeon will give Altare and Axel time to do that. Kind of like get into their characters and then think like, oh, what if my character had this backstory? Or like, what if my character like went through this like in the past, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and Isaiah Ryan, thank you very much for the super chat. Seeing as my friends quit my Storm Kings campaign because they prefer Pathfinder and made this decision without considering the new players, a little rude to just drop it, so I hope you do good. Ah, man, that's tough. Yeah. Storm Kings is also like a pretty good campaign. I like it. I'd say there's one part of Storm Kings that I was kind of like, that's a little rough. What the heck? I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody. But I think anybody that's played Storm Kings would be like, ah, yeah, that part. I think Storm Kings is like a really, really good module campaign. Official module, but like there's definitely like one part that's like, whoo, all right. Rizel, thank you very much for the super chat. Looking forward to D&D later. Since you're probably prepping for birthday merchandise, can I suggest a pillow cushion in the line of Kotobukiya's dream cushion line? I think it would make the Vesties happy. Interesting. Pillow cushion. Yeah, I'll take it into consideration. I think maybe I think the merchandising is like pretty much done. I'm pretty on top of my work. Like, I get the request to like, hey, do this, and then I get it done like within a week. Unless I completely forget, which I've done twice. But like, I think the merchandising is like done more or less. I just need to plan for the stream itself. And I've pretty much committed to doing a karaoke for my birthday. So I need to start like planning and preparing for that. Which is like, oh no. Oh no. Sad Larry, thank you very much for the super chat. You talking about working out has motivated me to get back into the gym. Thanks, Vampire. Yo, gym buddies. Larry, you and I are gym buddies. Are you mostly doing cardio or lifting? I'm doing lifting because cardio is like a time-intensive thing. Cardio is like pretty time-intensive and like I just don't have enough time. Whereas like lifting, I can get in and out in like 45 minutes and it's just like, it's good. It fits someone that's like super busy, right? Teolin, thank you very much for the super chat. You inspired me to try hardcore Diablo 2 for the first time ever. I died horribly on Hell. You got the Hell? Hell Maggot Layer, my first attempt. Didn't give up though, got that coveted Guardian title all solo. Incredibly stressful. Holy crap. I can't believe you got like to Hell on your first attempt hardcore. Everybody dies in Nightmare. Everybody like underestimates Nightmare. They go in with like negative resistances, and then the first lightning enchanted thing that they turn into like two-shots them. They just like instantly die, and then they're like, well, this is enough hardcore for me. Stan DeLeon, thank you very much for the super chat. How many sessions do you think it'll be before Magni betrays the guild? I actually do not think Dez's character will ever betray, because of the way that he built his character is like really interesting, and we worked really hard together to make it like it's not a standard character. You're gonna look at his character and be like, what the heck is this? Like, first of all, like, what class is he? Second of all, like, what? Like, what is he? Like, you're just not gonna understand what he and you're gonna think like it's gonna be like interesting. That's all I'll say about that. Aaron Pampo, thank you very much for the super chat. I like your icon, by the way. It's super cute. You lift, bro? What's your bench, squat, deadlift max? It's super low. I have not lifted. I started lifting a week ago, and before that, I have not lifted for 8 years because I screwed up my wrist doing power cleans. I was doing a power clean because the person that was like, I was chatting with, like my colleague, my lifting colleague was like, you should do power cleans. They give you explosive strength. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do power cleans. Little did I know, like, I don't need I'm not an athlete. Like, I don't need that. If you're like an athlete, if you play like football, American football, basketball, baseball, like something that needs like That, yeah, okay, do it. But like, if you're just like a dude, there's no reason to need to do power cleans. You just don't need. You don't need to do them unless you're like an actual athlete. Especially, yeah. It's just like, come on, man. It was bad. Like, I had to go to the doctor for my wrist, and then the doctor was like, yeah, you're never going to lift again. Minimum 5 years, if ever. Was he an athlete? He was, yes. My lifting colleague was an athlete. Yeah. Not like professional, but at the college level. At the collegiate level. He was an athlete. Yeah. Anyways, Stan, thank you very much for the super chat. Mighty Panzer, thank you very much for the super chat. Once again, Curse of Strahd will always hold a special place for me because it's the first 5e I played. Curse of Strahd is like probably the best module that Wizards has released for 5th edition. I haven't tried Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I've heard that one's really good too. I just modified every character and location to make it more like Castlevania, so technically you were there too. I love that. Ruben Ibarra, thank you very much for the super chat. I recently started going to the gym to lose weight to try to resolve an old injury. It's been 2 months and it seems to be working. It's good. It's really good. Yeah. Yeah, I think Saltmarsh is Greyhawk. Yeah, the Greyhawk. The Greyhawk setting / universe. Yes, Dr. Funk. My campaign is a homebrew, but I've bolted on a dungeon, a starter dungeon, and when they leave that dungeon, they should be level 3 or level 4, depending on how nice I feel. I'm thinking level 3, but if they do something crazy, they might be level 4. But I'm thinking level 3, and that's a good place to start off. Spoiler, Vesper was not feeling noise. Milestone. I've traditionally been like an EXP like proponent, but this time we're doing milestone leveling. Yeah. How do you feel about improvisation as a GM? Flack, it's like absolutely necessary as a GM. I think that might be the most important trait for DMing. You have to be able to improvise. You have to be flexible. And well, that's not the most important part. That might be the second most important part. The most important part is the mindset that like your goal as a DM is to make sure that your players have fun. That's like the most important thing as a DM. And I honestly think that like some types of players just want to be overpowered. Some like you might get a group of players where like their goal is to just like face roll everything and be overpowered. They're what I would like to call the isekai type of D&D player. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, cause like isekai is like all about like super overpowered. Like it's like overlord. I just like face roll everything. And like if that's what makes them have fun, you just gotta let them, right? Like don't fight against it. Just like let them. And then you have like what I would consider not good, but like the classic D&D player, where like their goal is like they're approaching it like my goal isn't to be overpowered. My goal is to tell a story. My goal is to like build a character, and I'm into the character, right? And that means my character has to be flawed. They have to go through obstacles and they have to have setbacks. Because if you don't have setbacks, if you don't have flaws, if you don't have obstacles, like, are you really like a three-dimensional? That's like the crux of a three-dimensional character, right? Yeah. And you should be ready for both types of players. And I think my general tip would be like, if you have a mix of both types, you're gonna have a very difficult type as a DM. It's gonna be very difficult. If you have a group of like X amount of players, and like some of them are isekai type and some of them are like classic D&D type, you're gonna have issues. You can make a good campaign, but it's like a higher level. Like it's gonna be way more difficult than yeah. That's my group, and it's difficult. Yeah. Not easy. Dragon Birdie, thank you very much for the super chat. Finished last week's members Zatsu regarding dark beers. Ever tried a Belgian strong dark or a quadruple? What is a quadruple? They're more on the sweet side. Highly recommended. Chimay Blue should be easy to find in Elysium. Chimay Blue. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. I bet you it's not gonna be at like a local like supermarket, but there are like specialist shops that have like Chimay Blue. Chimay Blue. There we go. I'll check it out. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate it. Naris, thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, you'll need to be able to improvise, especially if they have players like Axel. You have no idea what they'll do since they don't think. I was actually like pretty impressed with all three of them. I was actually pretty impressed with all three of them in our like warm-up session. We did a couple warm-up combats, and then I got them through like the little town thing, and then they got into the dungeon. They did one fight in the dungeon, and then I leveled them up, and then we ended the practice session. They all like really impressed me. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit negative. If it's not a good stream, if it's not entertaining, it's because of me, not because of them. Okay? They're all like actually like quite not high level. They're good. They have a lot of talent in like D&D roleplay. All three of them have a lot of talent in D&D roleplay. So if it ends up not being like a good stream and like not a good campaign, it's not them, it's me. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying it's bad yet. I'm hoping it's good. Hey. I'm hoping it's good. I'm just saying that like as a DM, it's not just on the DM, it's also on the players, right? If you have like bad players, the best DM can't do anything. The best DM can't salvage a game with like, you know, sociopath players that like are in it to just like be dicks and stuff like that. Like, you know, and I'm confident that like all three of them are good players. They're good. They're like a good team. Really, really happy with them. They're good. M. Yaj, thank you very much for the super chat. Do you think you and the boys will come around to Stardew Valley? It'll be an interesting game to see who you all pursue as partners in the game. I think it was like put forward as like our Monday collab game once. I don't know what happened. I think Altare suggested it as our Monday collab game, but I don't know whether like, kind of like, yeah. I could double check. I'll ask. My main concern about Stardew Valley is that like, it's completely open-ended, and even if you're just doing like the 2-year mark, right? Even if you're just playing Stardew Valley till it's like quote-unquote completion at the 2-year mark, when like the eldritch ghost of your grandfather returns, that's like a 60-hour, that's like 60 hours, right? That's like a long, like, it's tough. It's like really tough. Spoilers. Ice cream. Hello, hello. Ohayo, ohayo. Good morning, good morning. Yeah. Stardew Valley is like a long game. That's pretty much our concern with it. Melody Hinari, thank you very much for the super chat. This reminds me of the last 5e campaign that my friends and I played. We accidentally forced a DM to write a whole new Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah. Because we befriended a boss enemy we shouldn't have. Whoops. Luckily, we don't have a fuckboy bard in our party this time. Which is like, as a DM, whenever somebody rolls a bard and a rogue, your like heart rate spikes a little bit. You're like, oh no. Oh no. And you get like war flashbacks, right? Like you start like, you get like 1,000-yard stare, and then like like a transparent image of like past campaigns starts to like flash through, right? a bard or a rogue. It's like, remember that time like the rogue like killed everybody in the party while they were asleep when it was their turn to like hold the watch? Remember that time that the bard in your in the party that you were DMing like tried to seduce a dragon and got them all killed? Yeah. You seduced a dragon. It's male. Roll constitution. Roll damage. You died. Alright. I'm just gonna give you guys like a heads up, right? I'm not the type of DM that thinks that like I'm not the type of DM that thinks that a nat 20 means you succeed at everything that you do. That's not how I roll. If that's the type of DM that you like to watch, I apologize. Like, that's not the type of DM that I am. I've never been the type of DM that has said that, like, a nat 20 means you succeed at everything that you do. So it's like, I roll to seduce the dragon. I roll a natural 20, a crit. That means I definitely seduce the dragon, right? Like, I don't do that. Yeah. Sometimes I make the DC, I make the difficulty check, like, 800. Oh, you want to seduce this, like, ancient gold dragon that was old when, like, the world was young? This ancient dragon that is basically a demigod, and you, like, a 20-year-old fuckboy bard wants to seduce this, like, ancient gold dragon? Okay, difficulty check 800. Roll. Oh, and that 20, nice. So you rolled, like, a 28? You fail. It doesn't kill you because it's lawful good. And you've done nothing wrong but just be like unrepentantly horny, but you fail. My tastes are beyond your comprehension, mortal. Another thing that I wanted to point out, as a DM, I tend to favor talking in the third person, and I'm very self-conscious about doing voices. I don't think I'm very good at doing voices, but we were doing our practice run, and then Axel was like, "Noah, Uji, it would make me really happy if you could try to do like voices," and then like I get really into it because like I like the voices, and I was like, "Okay, I'll try to do the voices." So it'll be cringe, but I'll try to do like voices for all the characters. It'll be cringe, but I'll try to do voices. It's part of the fun. I know. I do think that like almost as close to objectively as possible. It's not perfectly objectively true, but like very close to objectively true that like a DM that can do voices is like usually better than a DM that does everything in third person, right? Because the DM sets the mood of the table, and if the DM is not willing to do voices, the players will be like, "Oh, we're not supposed to do voices," and they will also do it in the third person. It puts them out of their character. It makes them less invested in their character. It's just like, yeah, it's more immersive if you do voices, and it's like it's up to the DM to start that. So like I agree that I don't think I've ever done that as a DM. I've been DMing since high school, and like I don't think I've ever done that. So like I'll do my best. Yeah, a little scared, but I'll do my best. Forest Knight, thank you very much for the super chat. Hello, Vesper. As our resident not vampire librarian, do you have any thoughts about the World of Darkness tabletop world? World of Darkness is probably my favorite setting and system. The system is good. I like the D10 only system a lot. If you were to talk about like what my favorite WoD, like World of Darkness, like because there's like a bunch of different groups, right? Number 1, Werewolf the Apocalypse. Number 2, Mage the Ascension. Number 3, Vampire the Masquerade. In that order. Werewolf, I think, is like my favorite of the 3. Vampire, you're wrong. Fair enough. I don't think Vampire is bad. I think it's like really, really good. But I like all of them. Lucha Dandy, thank you very much for the super chat. When I last played D&D, I played as a pro wrestler, a bard, and a barbarian hybrid class. The coolest thing I got to do was pull a German suplex on an orc general. I like that. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, because the barbarian, when you're raging, you get advantage on strength checks, right? And grappling is an athletics check, which makes it a strength check, right? And then as a bard, you get access to expertise. If you get expertise with athletics, like just like nothing will be able to stop you. And if you really want to kick it up a notch, team up with a warlock and they'll hex, right? They'll hex the thing that you're trying to grapple. And then warlocks never do this, but you can actually, like, every time you hex, you can impose disadvantage on an ability check of your choice. You can say, I impose disadvantage on a strength check. And then, so they have disadvantage, you have advantage, and then you have expertise. And it's just like, you will never, like, you'll be able, yeah. It's going to be amazing. Anyway. That's brutal. Have you ever heard of the coffee lock build? Yes, I have. I've heard of it. I've played it. I've run it in a group. And I am okay with it. I am okay with it. The coffee lock is... It's like heavily contested because some DMs are like, that's not the way, that's like rules is intended. Like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Like, why would you break, like, yeah, infinite spell slots? Like, it's just like, you shouldn't be able to do that, right? But no DM contests the fact that rules is written. You can do that. Rules is written. You could definitely do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with the, like, it's just like completely above board, like, as written. Yeah. I've played it. I've DM'd for it. I'm okay with it. Because I do think... Oh, exhaustion exists, but like the whole point of a coffee lock is that you have to play something that like does not sleep, right? So like a Warforged or any of the elf classes, right? That do a trance and they don't need to sleep. And then I think there's like subclasses that like say you do not need to sleep anymore, right? I think there's like one for the monk. There's one for paladin and one for warlock. Definitely one for warlock, where it's just like you don't need to sleep anymore. Your character does not need to sleep. And it's like, boom, there you go. Have you ever heard of the Peasant railgun? Yes, I did. Yes, I have. Yeah. I've heard of the Peasant railgun. Yeah. That I would put the kibosh on. I would unfortunately put the kibosh on the Peasant railgun. Because that is definitely, that doesn't make any sense. That's insane. What the hell is even that? Hands up if you've never heard of the Peasant railgun technique. Kafka on the Shore, thank you very much for the super chat. I used to play so many Vampire the Masquerade mushes back in the day. And a little bit of Mage the Ascension, good times. It's just good. It's really good. It's so good. The D10 only system is like good. It's like nice. It's like very simple. But it's also like kind of complex. I don't know how to describe it in any other way. Dakota Sparks, thank you very much for the super chat. My favorite player that I ever ran for was a full orc barbarian named Lunk. He didn't like to fight, he wanted to garden, but people kept ruining his melon patch. So he used a watermelon for a helmet and went to war for fruit. I like that. I like that. Most of the people have heard of it, but a few people have not. No. Right. You do not throw peasants as a weapon. You don't throw them. Okay, let's describe it, okay? So, a turn takes, I think, 3 seconds. Like, that's the canon, right? So when a turn starts and when a turn ends, like that time is 3 seconds, right? So what you do is you basically hire 6 seconds. 6 seconds. There you go. Okay. I was incorrect. I apologize. So the trick is to hire like 100, 200, 300, like however many peasants you need. Just give them a gold piece and hire them to do one thing and one thing only, right? It's to pass a cannonball or whatever you want, right? But like usually like a cannonball, like a 10-pounder cannonball from like the peasant next to them to the peasant on the other side of them. And you do that. You give them one gold piece to do that, right? You line them up. And then you have them do that and then set that as their reaction. When they're handed the cannonball, as their reaction, they immediately like hand it off to the person next to them, right? And then you go to the very beginning of the line and then you hand that first peasant a cannonball. And then it sets off a chain reaction where they're like passing it from one to the other. And then so it's like how many feet long would be 100 peasant chain? Like if you lined up 100 people in one line, like how long would that line be? I mean, really, it could just be an infinite amount of peasants, right? You could hire 500 peasants. You could hire 5,000 peasants. You could hire like any amount of peasants, right? So 500 feet, a cannonball goes 500 feet in 6 seconds. Or it could be 1,000 feet if you hire 200 peasants. Or it could be, 2,000 feet if you hire 400 peasants, right? And so at the end of that chain, the last peasant just like yeets the cannonball. And it's going at that speed. And you basically, you made a railgun. Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah. Rules as written, it works for logistics, but not for damage. I would agree with that. Yeah. The where it breaks down is the yeeting at the end of it. The part where you yeet it and then like it flies into a target and kills that target like a dragon is where like the rules as written and the rules as intended, like it breaks down. It's like, no, that's not allowed. Yeah. So good. So good. Acer Bandit, thank you very much for the super chat. No, the peasant railgun is hilarious. My halfling exited the game on a journey to outer space using that method and a bag of holding. I also think it's hilarious and I like it, but I do not allow that in my campaigns. Lord Banger, thank you very much for the super chat. Can you help settle a bet? I bet my buddy a fifth that you own a copy of Made RPG. Do I get my bottle or does he? I don't own a copy, but I think I've played it. I distinctly remember playing a tabletop RPG where like all the players were maids. But I don't know if that was like the same thing. What do I remember about my character? My character was like the Onesan type, right? And she had a braid. She had like the side braid. And she said ara ara a lot. Right? She was like that type. And then like her like Ura side, like the reverse side that like you keep hidden, was that she had like a very intense like gambling addiction. She had like an intense and sustained gambling addiction. I remember that. It got like really funny. And it never came out in the gameplay, but in my lore, in the background that I wrote for her, she's like an ex-soldier. She's an ex-soldier. Ex-soldier, ex-mercenary, and then like maid with like an intense gambling addiction. That's where she got her gambling addiction. When she was a soldier. Yeah. This is just Tsunade, kind of, but Tsunade is like more of like a brat, right? She's not very like ara. Who said Tsunade? Okay, it's been an hour, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I gotta get back to work. You gotta bonk me. You gotta bonk me, and I got a lot of work to do. I gotta make the thumbnail. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna make the waiting room. I gotta do that before lunch. Then I will go out and eat lunch, and then I will reread the module one last time. Do a little bit of final prep with the Roll20. Actually, alright, so I don't want to be the one streaming the map. I do not want to be the one streaming the battle map because I do not want you guys, the viewers, to see the DM stuff, right? Like, I don't want you to see the monsters. I want you guys to be as surprised as the players when they encounter like the traps and stuff like that. I don't want you guys to see that, right? I don't know whose POV I want to show. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to make the waiting room, and then I'll make a poll, and I'll be like, whose POV do you want to see? Dez, Altair, Axel. Like, whose POV do you want to watch? And then like I'll pick whoever gets chosen, and request that they like stream it to me, and then I'll put it up in my yeah. GM Lemmy, thank you very much for the super chat. What about the tale of Eric and the Dread Gazebo? That one I don't think I've ever heard before. Adrian Canales, thank you very much for the super chat. A character of mine was once eaten whole by a dragon. He was still alive in the dragon's stomach and had a growth potion on him. He used it and grew enough to pop out of the dragon like a chest buster. Interesting. The first part of that super chat reminded me of Dungeon Meshi, right? I will not spoil anything, but the very beginning of Dungeon Meshi starts exactly like how you described it, which is interesting. Okay, everybody. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm gonna go prep. All right, thank you, everybody. Take care. Goodbye. See you tonight. It's in 5 hours. Our D&D campaign, and it is an actual session of a campaign. We will be playing. Dice will be rolled. Jimmies will be thoroughly rustled. That happens in 5 hours. So we would be really happy if you can check it out, you know? Okay, take care, everybody. Goodbye. See you tonight.